Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Virgo September 2018 horoscope forecast. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. Anyway, people, first thing up is as far as September goes, the sun will be in Virgo from the 1st until the 22nd. So the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. This could be a very strong concentration of energy, attention, focus on the self, the physical body, especially if this is actually the first house, the ascendant in one's natal chart. New beginnings, early childhood, the first impression, outlook on life, and even defense mechanisms. Now, given that this is Virgo energy, this could be done with a lot of Virgo-like meticulous attention to detail, some worry, some pensive energy, even a lot of analysis, in very analytical manner, in very methodical, systematic, and organized way as well. And also done in a very organized, scrupulous, but yet being somewhat judgmental and critical, perhaps strongly of the self, and perhaps people that you may have known in your early childhood. So anyway, next thing up is the sun will be in Libra as far as September goes from the 22nd until the 30th. So the second house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time for Virgo, there could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, and attention on monetary matters, finances, possessions, resources, one's self-worth, self-esteem, values, and generating income. Now, given this is Libra energy, this could be done with a lot of Libra balance, being very equitable, a lot of fairness, also a lot of refinement, a lot of bouncing ideas off others, but yet with a lot of ambivalence and indecision. And also, monetary matters may be done, may be dealt with if there's any kind of disagreements there with them, done with a lot of diplomacy intact and perhaps compromise as well. Anyway, next thing up is there will be a new moon in Virgo on September 9th. So the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, in some cases, this could be about rekindling a Virgo connection from the early childhood. It could be a Virgo sun, moon, ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Virgo-like characteristics. This could be the start of a new health or nutrition regime, which will help the physical body. And could be something where that is done in a very systematic and methodical manner. And it could be also really this way this could manifest is about really being even more analytical or intellectual on as far as the first impression goes, and it could be strongly about appearance, especially if this is the actual first house in one's natal chart, being very meticulous in terms of your appearance and maybe being even neater and cleaner looking than usual, and it could be a new star for that. And also being as far as first impression, well, this could actually be as far as another Virgo new beginning. I mean, this could be something that could be connected even with the Virgo-like work that may be done. It could be something with data analysis or data entry or computer programming, doing something again with health and fitness or nutrition, perhaps. So anyway. And also perhaps a new period of self-analysis as well. So anyway, next thing up is, well, there will be a full moon in Aries on September 24th. So the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. This could be a time for Virgo where you might become rather tired, full, exasperated, perhaps at an acrimonious, combative, or overly acerbic sexual partner, or someone you may be involved in an intimate relationship with. This could also be the completion or culmination of a transformation that required a lot of initiative and enterprise and a lot of assertiveness as well, and perhaps a lot of courage on your part. Now, Also, too, this could manifest perhaps in putting a lot of that full, aggressive, and courageous and assertive energy into dealing with a crisis, making a major change or transformation in one's life as well. In some cases, too, this could be about an unveiling or revelation that comes very abruptly about and really spontaneously, as far as something that could be eighth house related, such as taxes, insurance, a sexual partner, or maybe someone in a shared resources situation. Could it be that maybe somebody reveals like an anger issue? Maybe they may have someone you might be in an intimate or sexual relationship with, or a shared resources scenario. So anyway, next thing up is Mercury will be in Leo as far as September goes, from the 1st until the 6th. So the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, you could maybe perhaps be that conversation dominator in private. You may be less loquacious than usual at this time. It could be a time where maybe if you Leo siblings or Leo, I mean, remember Mercury is not just about communication, it's about sibling. I mean, it could mean other things such as siblings. Leo siblings might kind of disappear or be a little kind of dissipate in terms of not necessarily their significance, but maybe they kind of fade out of view for a little bit. It could be Leo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Leo-like characteristics, or they might simply be driving you crazy at this time, figuratively speaking. Now, also, they may, and Leo siblings might factor in the private life more, or they could be about, it could be a time where you might be boasting about how you're going to deal with limitations and restrictions, and thinking with a lot of confidence in self-assuredness regarding regarding dealing with hidden adversaries and weeding them out, perhaps. Now, also, too, this could be a time where you might be doing more thinking about helping those less fortunate in a very generous manner at this time. So, and also, too, this could manifest perhaps in creative writing, perhaps in solitude and seclusion. Anyway, next thing up is Mercury will be in Virgo as far as September goes, from the 6th until the 22nd. So the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, you could be even perhaps more analytical and communicative about the self more than usual, and more loquacious than usual at this time. And as I've talked about before, Mercury can not just be about communication, it could be about other things such as siblings. And it could be that Virgo siblings might have a stronger impact and figure prominently in your outlook in new beginnings. They could be Virgo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Virgo-like characteristics. You might come across as being more judgmental and critical in your speech on a first impression, and also maybe being self-critical, self-deprecating regarding yourself and your appearance, especially the appearance if this is actually the first house, literally in one's actual natal chart. So anyway, well, the next thing up is Mercury will be in Libra as far as September goes, from the 22nd until the 30th. So the second house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. This could be a time for Virgo where you might find yourself bouncing ideas off people in terms of finding ways to formulating ways to make money. It could be just people that you're bouncing ideas off at the place that you're generating income at. This could also be where your mind is more motivated toward generating income, and your mind might be more dominated by making money, and weighing the pros and cons perhaps of different ways maybe you can make money. So also, too, again, as I've talked about before, that Mercury can also be about siblings. It's not just about communication. It could be that Libra siblings might factor in stronger with your resources, your possessions, and your self-esteem and self-worth at this time. They could be Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Libra-like characteristics. Now, also be about balancing the budget and at this time, so to speak, and that could be something that you may strongly value at this time, perhaps as well, and weighing pros and cons over possessions, resources, and generating income. So anyway, Next thing up is Venus will be in Libra as far as September goes, from the 1st until the 9th. So the second house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. This could be a time where you might be doing a lot of, could be about valuing, balancing fairness and what's equitable as far as monetary matters go. Also, you could be exhibiting and exuding a lot of a love of intellectual sociability, which could pay dividends for your self-esteem and self-worth. If unattached, this could be a time where you may connect with a Libra Sun, Moon, Ascendant person, or one that simply embodies Libra-like characteristics. It could be at that place where you generate income, and someone that might figure strongly in your possessions and resources and how you feel about yourself. So, and also too, this could also manifest in perhaps, this could be about a love of intellectual sociability, which could help your self-esteem and self-worth, and also to playing perhaps Libra games with those people that maybe you value, or those or where the place where you generate income with. It could be games like playing like a Law and Order type game, or something with People Squirt, something that has to do with Libra. So anyway, and also a balanced relationship is something you may strongly value at this time. Anyway, next thing up is Venus will be in Scorpio as far as September goes, from the 9th until the 30th. So the third house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, this could be a time where you might strongly value secrecy and privacy in your communications. This could be a time too where you might connect with a Scorpio Sun, Moon, Ascendant person, or one that simply embodies Scorpio-like characteristics. Could be in your neighborhood, someone you encounter during your short journeys in your day-to-day communications. And also, it could be someone you may have known from your early education. Now, also too, another way this could manifest perhaps is playing maybe Scorpio-like games with siblings, with neighbors, with cousins. It could be games like Clue or CSI, or some mystery like Sherlock Holmes type games as well. And also too, finding value going beyond subterfuge and superficiality in your communications. And also, you might be a time where you can maybe make money perhaps in doing Scorpio-like things with neighbors, with cousins, with siblings. At this time, it could be doing something like recycling, or anything connected with some kind of transformation, such as like maybe rebuilding a vehicle or something. So anyway, well, the next thing up is, as far as September goes, Mars will be in Capricorn from the 1st until the 10th. So the 5th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, well, there could be more arguments with children, with lovers over responsibilities. It could be matters connected with government, with politics. This could also manifest perhaps in putting a lot of consistent, disciplined energy into fun, amusement, and enjoyment. The situation with lovers, with children, people that you might be involved in some kind of fun thing, or some kind of creative endeavor or hobby. Those situations might be a little bit more contentious and acrimonious than usual. Now also, this could be about putting a lot of premeditated and planned energy into enjoyment and things of a speculative nature. Perhaps this also could manifest in perhaps a consistent sexual energy that might involve some superficial interlude at this time as well, or it could be sex with a Capricorn Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Capricorn-like characteristics that might you find very enjoyable. And anyway, and it might just be a superficial fling. So anyway, people, hold on a second, people. And I'm sorry about that. Anyway, well, the next thing up is, well, as far as September goes, Mars will be in Aquarius from the 10th until the 30th. So the 6th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. There could be a situation with employees at this time, people in your daily routine, people that are prominent in your health life. Could be more contentious and acrimonious than usual. You might become angry at idiosyncratic, bizarre, unusual behavior from people in your daily routine. It might be people you work with, people that maybe are prominent in your health life, such as somebody that you might work out with or might at a health and fitness club. Also, too, there might be some unusual accidents that might take place at the workplace, so be very careful at this time. And in some cases, there might be, you look at this too, it could be something with the shins or some, especially, there might be some cases this could be some surgery at this time, because you're talking about Mars, and Mars could be connected with surgery, and the sixth house is related to health, especially if this is making an inconjunct to the actual ascendant in one's chart. It could be some surgery and something that's Aquarius related, such as the shins or the ankles. But also, on a positive note, this could be about injecting a lot of selfless humanitarian energy into the daily routine and into your place of employment, even matters with service rendered as well. In some cases, this can manifest perhaps in maybe a sexual interlude with an Aquarius sun, moon, ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Aquarius-like characteristics. It could be somebody at your workplace, someone in your daily routine, someone you render service to, somebody that maybe that might be prominent in your health life. So anyway, well, next thing up is Jupiter will be in Scorpio still. So the third house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, this could manifest perhaps in a lot of luck and fortune through making a major transformation. Something third house related, such as rebuilding a vehicle. It could be or doing recycling in the neighborhood perhaps. Also, too, this could be very positive and auspicious for going beyond subterfuge in superficiality in communications, and also deciphering the character compositions and motives of other people, perhaps in your early education, or maybe even with siblings, cousins, and neighbors. Now, also, too, this could be about having a very deep, profound philosophy in connection with siblings. For example, thinking that, we're all brothers and sisters in this life. You don't have to be biologically connected to have siblings, to be someone's sibling, as an example, just throwing it out there. And also, too, maybe they're having a profound philosophy and deep one regarding your early education in terms of its significance. So anyway, well, the next thing up is Saturn will be in Capricorn still. So the fifth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. This could be about having restrictions and dealing with restrictions and limitations in your love romantic life at this time. It could be with fun, amusement, and enjoyment, which could be causing you to feel somewhat despondent, disconsolate, and melancholy. In some cases, too, this could manifest perhaps in taking care of a debilitated or sickly child. It could be a romantic partner. It could be somebody that you might be involved in some creative endeavor, or share some hobby or thing of amusement with. Also, too, this could be also about gaining structure and discipline in a connection with a child, or maybe in your love life as well. And also, we're about taking responsibilities for things that might be connected with something of a speculative nature. And also, it might be to gambling debts at this time as well in some cases. You might be experiencing some limitations in personal popularity as well. And in some isolated cases, this could even manifest perhaps in some government restriction, might be prohibiting your fun and enjoyment at this time. And also about working laboriously, maybe just to be able to have maybe working laboriously on having maybe it's connected on your love life or a connection with the child. So anyway, The next thing up is Uranus will be in Taurus still, so the ninth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, one way this could manifest, this could be about the formulation of maybe new ways to make money, which could be beneficial to something ninth house related, such as traveling abroad or publishing. This could also be about perhaps some unusual persistence and obstinacy, maybe expressed through an in-law or a grandchild at this time. And also, too, some cases, too, this could be about Taurus friendships might strongly impact your philosophical outlook at this time, or maybe even your religious beliefs. Now, also, another way this could pan out is perhaps taking some kind of college or higher education course, which could be Uranus-like. It could be something. It could be electronics, computers, aerospace, astronomy, or even astrology in some cases. And anyway. And also, too, this could be really about the way this could pan out. This could be about very unpredictable or very spontaneous or unexpected long journeys you may find yourself taking at this time. So anyway, next thing up is Neptune will be in Pisces still. So the seventh house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So in some cases, this could be about the dissipation or dissolving of relationships and having difficulty perhaps deciphering the character composition of others. I have this placement natally. I actually have Neptune in my seventh house in my natal chart. And a lot of this can manifest in really a lot of self-sacrifice in your relationships and doing things for others without really a lot of reciprocation and getting things back in return. And also, too, it could manifest perhaps in public speaking on the metaphysical, which could include astrology. It could be dealing, with maybe people that maybe are less fortunate than yourself, such as the impoverished, the oppressed, the homeless, people that have some kind of, or it might be people that have addictions, and maybe also, too, dealing with perhaps people that are very deceptive and duplicitous at this time as well. And in some cases, too, this could be about maybe you're talking to the seventh house, could be about the significant other, a grandmother, even in some cases, others in general. They may be somewhat nebulous and unclear. And also being able, not always seeing maybe that you really seen even your open adversaries very clearly at this time. And Neptune could be about not seeing the fine print in things. So you understand what I'm saying. So it's really you don't really see all the details maybe in even people that would really meant to others maybe might be very blatantly open enemies or adversaries. So anyway, next thing up is Pluto will be in Capricorn still. So the fifth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, for Virgo, well, this could manifest perhaps in some cases. I know you don't want me to say the dreaded D word, but I'm going to anyway. Some cases this could manifest in an actual literal death of a child or of a lover, a romantic partner in some cases. Also, too, you might feel like at this time that maybe your fun, amusement, enjoyment is obliterated or destroyed. But remember that Pluto can also be about rebirth and regeneration. So when something goes away with Pluto, a lot of times it will be supplanted anyway, replaced with something else. You may be involved in upheavals and power struggles with children, with a lover, a romantic partner. Just be careful at this time not to become maybe overly obsessive or compulsive regarding lovers, regarding children at this time, or even compulsive connected with things of amusement, or even compulsive gambling. In some cases, they can manifest that way. A lot of it depends, of course, on the aspects this makes during that time. Let's say that it makes an adverse aspect to Jupiter. That could intensify the propensity perhaps for, or increase the propensity for some kind of strong gambling issue. So anyway, Next thing up is the North Node will still be in Leo, so the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, excuse me a second again, people. So at this time, well, this could be about, when you're talking about the North Node could be about in transit, issues one may have to confront and address. And this could be about having to deal with an arrogant, domineering, bombastic, overbearing, even flamboyant person in your private life. It could be an aunt or an uncle in some cases. In some isolated cases, this could be about dealing with some kind of mental illness. It could be like delusions of grandeur. It could be something Leo related. But also a lot of cases too, this could be about taking pride and dignity in one's private and personal life, and maybe more extroversion and gregariousness being directed toward that with people in the private life as well. And also your future may lie perhaps at this time with maybe being more extravagant, more generous in matters with those less fortunate than yourself, such as the oppressed, the impoverished, the homeless, and the hungry, and also being directed toward utilizing more courage and fortitude as far as weeding out hidden adversaries, people that may be posing as your friends but are really actually your enemies in disguise. So anyway, well, the next thing up is the Black Moon Lilith will still be in Aquarius. So at this time, the 6th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, when we're talking about the Black Moon Lilith, could be about something that could put one in a strong state of fear or trepidation. It could be about losing or relinquishing the freedom and independence in one's daily routine, or even their work life to some degree, or even having an overly monotonous or orthodox type daily routine or work life. It could also be in some cases where this could be the revelation or unveiling, perhaps in some cases, of maybe someone in your daily routine, your work life, someone prominent in your health life, even, or service you render to. It could be exhibiting some idiosyncratic, very bizarre, unusual behavior at this time. And also this could be the revelation of some kind of very strong, powerful, formidable adversary. Might be an Aquarius sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply one that embodies Aquarius-like characteristics that may be in the daily routine. It could be an aunt or an uncle, someone prominent in your health life, or somebody you might work with. It could be a fellow employee. So anyway, and also too, this could be in some cases when you're talking about the Black Moon Lilith, it could be about, something that we don't want out of the bag but happens to be unveiled and comes out. And it could be something about an unusual health situation you may have, or some kind of illness that comes out that you didn't want anyone to know about, or some kind of unusual work that you do. Or this is where some cases how this might actually manifest, and something that comes out of the bag like that, but you didn't want to come out, but it does happen to come out. So anyway, well, next thing up is Chiron will be in Aries still as far as September goes, from the 1st until the 26th. So the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, this could manifest perhaps in dealing with emotional wounds. It could be connected with maybe through lack of initiative and enterprise, and maybe matters with taxes or some kind of insurance or inheritance matter, maybe not speaking up over an inheritance matter, for example. And also maybe being, Aries energy could be about impetuous and impulsive energy. And maybe in some cases this could actually manifest in maybe being overly impetuous or impulsive over something 8th house related, such as an insurance matter. And also too, in some cases you might be going through some emotional wounds and suffering connected with lack of initiative and enterprise in dealing with a crisis. Or it could be also too, when you're talking about Chiron and Aries, this could be about feelings of unworthiness. And since this is the 8th house, this could be feelings of maybe sexual inadequacy, or maybe not feeling not worthy of having an intimate relationship or having a sexual partner. Could be some examples of some ways this could manifest. But remember that Chiron is the wounded healer, so in ways that you may be having difficulties and struggles connected with Chiron and Aries and the 8th house, you may be able to help others out dealing with comparable things, and doing so with a lot of Aries like courage, fortitude, initiative, enterprise, and assertiveness. Last but not least, Chiron will be in Pisces as far as September goes, from the 26th until the 30th. So the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, you may be dealing with a lot of really, it could be some suffering, emotional wounds connected with deception and duplicity in your relationships. It could be from a significant other or even a grandmother. In some cases, it could be about maybe not seeing the details in open adversaries, or sometimes the fact, or maybe just the fact they might see nebulous to you, or you don't really see those open adversaries, period. And also, too, another way this could manifest, in some cases it could be about being delusional in legal matters, such as, I'll throw this out there, such as maybe, for example, representing yourself and thinking that you could represent yourself in a case, and where the reality is you may not be able to do so in terms of actually emerging victorious. It could be about dealing with maybe an addictive relationship that maybe you're trying to extricate yourself from, but you're unable to do so, or an alcoholic, significant other or grandmother, or one that might be involved in recreational drugs. Also, emotional wounds and suffering, and just really some difficulty perhaps in not deciphering the character composition of others. Now, keep in mind too that in Aries, of course, the Chiron is the wounded healer. So again, in ways that you may be having difficulty and struggles in connection with Chiron and Pisces and the 7th house, you may be able to help others in dealing with comparable situations, and do so with a lot of Pisces like empathy, compassion, self-sacrifice, and even idealism. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Virgo September 2018 horoscope forecast. Stay tuned next time, where I'll be giving you my Libra September 2018 horoscope forecast. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person astrologically speaking based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.